thank Sean McGarvey, the Secretary-Treasurer of the National Building Trades, and a particular thank you for all the building trade members who came out in such great numbers today. Let's give them a round of applause. And I want to say thanks to all of you, to each and every one of you for coming out today to this historic rally. I can't tell you how proud I am, so very proud I am, to be standing with so many of my brothers and my sisters from so many different unions and so many different organizations. I want you to look around. This isn't part of Kentucky labor. Every union in Kentucky is here today to stand together to say no to anti-worker legislation. We're together, and the occupants of this building behind me know that we're together. But I want you to think about something. When Ernie Fletcher proposed his extreme agenda, we told him we didn't want fewer jobs at lower pay. We wanted more jobs with better pay. Well, he didn't listen to us. When we told him we didn't want lower wages and less health care and less secure pensions, he didn't listen to us. When we told him that production workers in Tennessee in a right-to-work state earn $3.25 less than production workers here in Kentucky, he didn't listen to us. When we told him that doing away with prevailing wage would hurt every worker in Kentucky, would hurt our schools, would hurt every last one of us, would threaten our health care and threaten our pensions, he didn't listen to us. When we told him to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, he said no, take lower wages instead. When we said we wanted more education, he said no, take less education for you and your kids. Well, he wasn't listening to us. He was listening to the ABC. He was listening to the chamber. He was listening to the right wing of the Republican Party. Brothers and sisters, you stick together just like we are today, and I promise you, come November, he'll listen to the workers in this state, or he'll be listening from the outside, not the inside. You see, they know we're together. Ernie Fletcher knows we're together. And we're here to say, you'll not drive this state down a low road to low wages. You'll not drive the working families of Kentucky into an economic ditch. We want higher wages and more health care and better pensions for every last Kentuckian, and we won't go home until we get all of those things. You know, I wish old Ernie was looking out the window. You know what I'd tell him? I'd tell him to look at this crowd and see what he's done by trying to destroy our prevailing wage law and jam through a right to work for less legislation. I'd tell him he brought us together like we were having trouble doing ourselves. That our fight is about an even bigger and an even more important goal. You see, Ernie, your selfish strategy has boomeranged, and you have united the labor movement like we've never been united before, and we're not going to go back. We're not going to be split up. We're going to stay united. And then I tell Ernie, you brought us closer to our community allies. You brought us closer to our brothers and sisters in the religious community, to our brothers and sisters in the civil rights community, to our brothers and sisters that are civic leaders. You've brought us closer than we've ever been before. And then I tell him that you united our elected officials, Democrats, as well as some Republicans who see where the low road takes us, and that's the low wages. Now, look at what you've done, Ernie. You've brought us together. every last union in the state together. And when it comes to our prevailing wage and your right to work for less bill, we're going to hand you the worst defeat that you have ever had in your life, and then we're sending you back to the country where you came from. If all we do after defeating those bills today is go on back home and think that everything's wonderful, what changes? Well, really nothing changes, right? Because Fletcher will still be governor. His administration will still be in the pockets of the corporations, and we'll still be in the crosshairs of their anti-worker, anti-union firing squads. The Chamber of Commerce and the building contractors and other employers here in Kentucky and nationally will still have their money up on the table, available to any politician who wants to help them pick the pockets of working families. You see, we cannot, we must not, and we will not allow that to happen, will we? Brothers and sisters, our new unity and our campaign to stop this legislation has opened the eyes of a lot of Kentuckians to Fletcher's real plan, to his real agenda, to his right-wing agenda, to his attempt to hurt working families in the state of Kentucky, all working families. But we've also opened up an opportunity to change direction of Kentucky politics and to turn this state around and our country around and make it worker-friendly, a country and a state that you deserve, you've earned, and you have a right to, and we won't stop until we get that state, until we get that country. We need to keep our solidarity and our strength in high gear and put this state back on the progressive political map. Leaders of a lot of political parties agree that this is a red state, firmly in the hands of the far right wing of the Republican Party, the extreme agenda of the Ernie Fletchers of the world. But if we use our new unity, if we use that new unity not only to defeat Fletcher's legislation, but to win back some assembly and some Senate seats and fiercely contest some congressional seats this fall, we can begin to change that and turn Kentucky into a model that the rest of the country will be dying to follow. A model that puts working people at the front of the line, not the back of the line. Next year, we can take on Ernie and his extreme agenda and beat him so badly that we transform Kentucky back into a battleground state for federal elections 2 years from now. You see, if we refuse to rest on what we've done so far this year, we can change the direction of this state. We can change the direction of our country, and we can change the lives of million working families. That's really what's going on here today, and that's really how big this fight is. It's a fight that we can win if we refuse to stop with just a short-term victory and keep organizing for the long term. It's a fight that we can win if we remember that when we stick together, when we stand up and fight back together, nothing, and I mean nothing on the face of the earth, can stop working people. You see, that's where we're going in Kentucky and all across the country. We're working together. We're struggling together. We're standing up together. We're marching together. We're fighting together. We're voting together. Come November, we're going to be winning together. Winning today. Winning in November. Winning in 2006 and 2008. And sending Ernie's extreme agenda back home. You see, it's time to change that agenda. It's time to raise our voices. It's time to make them heard. It's time to take back this state and take back Kentucky for the people who build it, the people who make it run, the people who teach it, the people who take care for all of us. It's time to take it back. Fight, stand up.